Hello, this video is going to teach you how to inspect a Pyro-chem MCH3 control head and cylinder. The first thing you want to do is to remove these 4 screws. Be very careful because there is a CO2 cartridge installed inside. If this arm were to swing and trigger the control head, this cylinder will release its ABC dry chemical. And if that happens, evacuate the container immediately. It is not good for your health. Let's get it open. After you remove the 4 screws in the cover plate, this is what you'll find. Right here is a CO2 cartridge that I talked about before. This tab underneath makes it easy for you to be able to get your thumb and index finger on the CO2 cartridge. Rotate it very carefully counterclockwise. Once you do, you are safe to test this system without being covered in dry chemical. A couple of things to check on this box is to check the mechanism and make sure it engages. Check these switches to make sure that 1, the bell operates, and 2, that the fan shuts off. I will turn on the fan in a moment to test that. And then the other thing to inspect is the tank and the heat links. Let's get with the control head. I have turned on the fan so we can witness that everything is operating as it's supposed to. In order to test this mechanism, what you need to do is take your finger or your thumb or even a tool and just slightly push up on this knuckle. The snapback is good. You want that to be strong and quick, and it needs to go all the way over to engage these 2 switches. As you can see, the fan has turned off, and I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but the bell is on. We will go outside and check. But in order to double check, what we can do is we can pull this off the switches. The fan has came on, and it went back off. This is the bell that's been activated by the control head. After we confirmed everything has worked, it is time to put this back in the set position. In order to do that, we need to take this arm, move it up towards that slot, take another hand and push this mechanism over to the left, and then this knuckle needs to drop down. I will attempt to do it with one hand. Just like that. Now the fan didn't come on because I turned it off at the switch so I could be able to speak. So in order to test that again, take our thumb, slides up. We take this arm, move it up, move the mechanism over to the left, and drop the knuckle. This right here is for the pull station, and we're going to test that next. Your pull station is located on the outside of your container and can be tested very easily. What I like to do is take an 1/8 inch Allen key and come over here to the side. What we're gonna do is remove this red bar. That way we don't need to buy a new red bar every time we test this. So I'll take this set screw out and remove the red bar and test our mechanism. So this is a set screw. I'm gonna set that right there. I'm gonna slide out this red bar. This is an anti-tamper, so we know if somebody's been tampering with it. All we need to do is pull. Let's go back inside. And it operated like it's supposed to. So in order to put it back, I like to pull this down, give us some slack. Put this arm back up, slide it over. The bell is off. We can even try to get this to pull down, and we'll go back out to the pull station and put it back together. So you'll need to come back out here, push this back in. It's nice and snug. we'll take our anti-tamper bar and reinstall it through pull handle, and then take our set screw and screw it back in. If you screw it in too tight, you can break the anti-tamper, so be very careful when reinstalling the set screw. And that is enough. You can see it. Doesn't need to be tight. It's not doing anything structural. It's just there to tell you if somebody's been pulling on it. Another thing you can do is test the heat link. This is a mechanical detection. What happens is if a fire hits this point here, that solder will melt and this will engage the system. You notice that there's a number on there, 24. That is the year that this heat link was manufactured. If the heat link is 2 years older than the year that you're operating in, it needs to be swapped out. The way I like to test these is take a pair of side cutters and cut the S-hook. You will need to replace the S-hook though. So if you don't have another S-hook, you'll have to do it another way. Another way you can do that is at the control head. Here in the control head, you can see there's a bar here. You take a tool, that's going to release the pressure if you push down on it. And that has released a lot of the pressure in this line. It's just as if this was burnt up. And we're gonna put this back. This is a little bit more tricky. In order to put this back, you can take a tool. You can see this hex, and a big Allen key will fit this. I like to use my fingers. Usually I have two hands though. I like to pull down on this and twist this at the same time. You want it about like that. And what that does is when you slide this back over, this is low enough and allows enough room for this to drop down into position. The last thing you need to check is your fire suppression tank. You can see here that there's two numbers. It's hard to see because of the shadow, but there's two sets of numbers. Right here, above my Allen key, it says 04. And on the right, it says 23. There's this little letter or some spaces between them. That means the last time this tank was hydro tested was April of 2023. These tanks need to be inspected every 6 years and 12 years. They're two different types of inspections. So if this tank hadn't been inspected in 6 years, I need to take it to a certified inspection and get it inspected. If that date is good, we want to double check that the arrow is in the green section. And it's always good to make sure your fittings are always tight. Once we have done all our inspections and we're happy with how it performed, we will reinstall the CO2 cartridge. Like that. Put back our red tab, like that, and reinstall our control head. If you have any questions, please give me a call. My name is Robert with American Hazmat Rentals.